Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. Welcome to the Prog Corner, where today we're going to break a precedent. We were just going to do nothing but Americana content, but this came in my inbox yesterday. The brand new Big Train album, Ingenious Devices. I wasn't going to review this because it's got no real new material on it, but playing it last night, I ended up listening to this thing like 4 or 5 times. I don't think I got much sleep at all. I got real motivated and excited to talk about the new one. What's been going on with Big Train, man? Everybody knows the great David Longdon left us. But there's been so many changes since they dropped the second brightest star right before Grand Tour came out. Andy Poole left the band in 2018, founding member of the band. In 2020, you had 3 exits. The great Dave Gregory left, Danny Manners left, and Rachel Hall left. And then they dropped a album in 2021 called Common Ground after their tour got canceled and all that kind of stuff. Then David Longdon died in 2021. They dropped their latest album shortly after his death, Welcome to the Planet. And then Carly Bryant left the band. So, who's in the band right now? Well, it's a little convoluted right now, but you got Greg Sponton, Nick DiVirgilio, and Ricard Soljabloom are the big 3, the main 3. Claire Lindley, David Foster, Alberto Brevin from PFM is the new lead singer, and Oscar Holdorf is a young guy playing keyboards. He's doing a great job. So what is going on with this album? It's just weird. Why do they do it like this? Well, I guess this is like the first steps in the new direction the band's going, the new chapter. The journey continues. David Longdon would have wanted that. Speaking of David Longdon, he put out that solo album in 2020 called Door 1. Now, that was 2022. That was last year that thing came out, but they're actually going to reissue his first solo album, Wild River. Originally came out in 2004. They're dropping that. And then before he died, he dropped an album with Judy Dibble, Between a Breath and a Breath, and she died shortly after that came out. And then the next year, David Longdon died. Just terrible, man. But this album here is basically 4 songs, right? This is like almost like a greatest hits. These are the greatest epics. It starts with East Coast Racer. This is a brand new version of East Coast Racer. Obviously, the song originally appeared on a 2013's English Electric 2. This is a whole new version of it, brand new, newly recorded with the 17-piece strings that were recorded at Abbey Road. Is it as good as the original? I think it's amazing. I really do enjoy how it's a little bit more dense and full. Some of the come down sections sound really great, but then when it builds up, when Big Train comes to those really big climactic moments, the additional strings just really give it a lot of power and gravitas. Just really fantastic. Then they have a short little instrumental piece, an interlude that links it to the next song, which is Brooklands, which was a song that kind of got forgotten about on 2016's Folklore. I love Folklore. It's probably my favorite Big Train album. So what they do differently on Brooklands? Well, this is a song they'd already revisited on the second brightest star, where they had a bunch of different versions of older songs that they did there. So this is like the second time they've reworked Brooklands. And I guess they have a brand new rhythm section tracking all new bass and drums here to go along with the strings. This song is fantastic. It always kind of got, forgotten about in Folklore, because you've got, that great title track and the Transit of Venus across the sun and Wassail and the Tales of Winky and, Telling the Bees. There's so much greatness on there that it kind of got forgotten about. And I kind of feel the same thing's going on here, because it is bookended by possibly my 2 favorite Big Train songs of all time, East Coast Racer and Voyager. Okay, so what are we doing differently here on Voyager? Well, Andy Poole's clearly not part of the band by this point. He had left. He had left the band before Grand Tour. But here apparently we've got brand new guitar and violin parts. And man, oh man, all the way through these early tracks, these first three. Wow, David Gregory's guitar playing, man. There's some new leads on here, and they remixed all these songs, so he's way up in the mix. Sometimes David Longdon's vocals are a little bit down, but man, this record should just be called, if you need any convincing that David Gregory's one of the greatest guitar players in the history of mankind, you should listen to this record. It's just incredible what he does throughout here. And then you've got the final song on here, which is The Atlantic Cable, which originally appeared on Common Ground from 2021. This is a version that was recorded in September of 2022. So this is the brand new version of the band. So you've got Alberto Brevin singing here. So this is kind of besides the videos that they've been dropping on YouTube, this is like the first chance that we really get to hear what he's going to sound like in the band. His voice is nothing like David Longdon's, but I do like it. I think it's an interesting decision to go with somebody who sounds so completely different than Longdon, and that's probably a good thing. So this is the new version of the band playing this song, and it just kind of makes you wonder, what are we doing here? You know, are we introducing the world to Alberto Brevin? And if so, then why couldn't we have just, maybe on Voyager or Brooklands maybe put his voice in over the top of Longdon's? But I'm glad they didn't, because let me tell you something right now about David Longdon and how I feel about him and his incredible talent. Man, oh man, I love his voice oh so much. You know, he almost was the lead singer for Genesis, and I guess it really hurt quite a bit when he did not get the gig, when it went to Ray Wilson. So Big Train was his second chance, and he made the most of it. I love him so much, but Alberto Brevin's going to do a fine job here. So, why are we doing this? Well, I had a really hard time listening to Welcome to the Planet, because by the time it dropped, David was no longer with us. Ditto with his solo album, Door One. Really hard time listening to it without breaking down and crying and stuff like that. So, listening to especially the first three epic tracks, East Coast Racer, Brooklands, and Voyager, man, it just made me realize just how incredibly great Big Train was. If you need any type of evidence as to their greatness, or if you have someone in your life that you want to, share with them how great modern progressive rock is, you could do a whole lot worse than this album. It, like I said, is almost like a greatest hits, like the greatest epics kind of thing. You got, four great epics from four different albums. And I just really enjoy this. I think it's a wonderful addition to their discography. Prog Archives is considering it an actual album and not a compilation album, because it's, got all new recordings of these songs and whatnot. But I am just 100% convinced that Big Train is going to go on to do great things, and this is the first step in the next chapter of their journey. So what am I going to give this thing? Well, I didn't even want to review this at all, but like I said, when the CD came, I had to listen to it, and I was just blown away. So, given that it's all reworked stuff, I can't give it a perfect score, even though I want to. So I'm going to, fake it a little bit and give this thing 4.5 headphones and call it a day. Anyway, next week we're going to be doing some fantastic stuff. I have no idea what it's going to be, so you're just going to have to come along for the ride. Anyway, I am Scott, and you guys are in the Prog Corner. I love you guys so much. Peace in the Middle East, free Tibet, and God save the King. I'm out.